The world ends in fire, but you die from a speck of rust. A single microscopic killer. You stepped on a nail. A jagged piece of fence tore your skin. It feels like nothing, a minor inconvenience in the face of mass extinction. But that small entry wound is a highway for bacteria. In a world without doctors, that bacterium is a death sentence. It is the silent, agonizing apocalypse happening inside your leg. First, the swelling, then the heat. Your body tries to fight. It raises the fever. You start shaking. Delirium sets in. Soon the infection spreads from the wound to your blood. Septic shock. And you choke on your own failure to plan. The zombies won't kill you. The lack of simple antibiotics will. We need to talk about penicillin. Forget the myth of the sterile lab. Forget the complex synthesizers. Those are gone, looted, burned, or guarded by militias far better armed than you are. Your pharmacy is a dumpster now. Your only option is to become Alexander Fleming, but dirtier and much, much faster. This is the high IQ solution to a low-tech problem. We are going to make crude, improvised penicillin G. It's dangerous, it's filthy, it's probably illegal in the old world, but it will save your life when nothing else can. It will keep the rust from shutting down your organs. First, you need the source. The magic is in the mold, specifically the genus Penicillium. We need P. chrysogenum, formerly P. notatum. This is not a game for amateurs. If you pick the wrong mold, you will introduce neurotoxins. You will die faster and harder than if you did nothing at all. Do not mess with black mold. Do not mess with red mold. Those are mycotoxins waiting to assassinate you. We are looking for the blue-green powder, the velvety, dusty growth often found on bread, citrus, or rotting cantaloupe. Cantaloupe rind, specifically, is a prime substrate if you can find fresh enough fruit. But stale bread is usually the easiest catch. Find a whole grain loaf. Stale is better than fresh. It provides a solid food source for the fungus. You must handle this carefully. Your hands are crawling with bacteria. Place the bread in a clean jar or container. Emphasis on asterisk, clean asterisk, not asterisk, sterile asterisk. Sterility is a luxury you no longer possess, but you must eliminate surface contamination as much as possible. Wash the container with hot treated water. If you have bleach, use a heavily diluted solution. Now, the waiting game begins. You need to inoculate the bread. This means introducing the right spores. If you find suitable blue-green mold on old fruit, gently scrape some off. Use a toothpick or a sliver of clean bone. Transfer it to the bread. If you have no mold, you rely on the ambient air. This is slow. It is unreliable. But sometimes, the spores of P. chrysogenum are floating around anyway. Your best bet is to encourage growth. Seal the jar loosely. The mold needs air exchange, but you want to minimize contaminants. A loose lid or a piece of cloth, secured with a rubber band, will work. Humidity is paramount. Keep the environment damp, but not soaking wet. If the bread is submerged, you invite anaerobic bacteria. That is a failure point. Temperature control is critical. Penicillium grows best in cool, dark conditions. Think a basement cellar. Think the bottom shelf of an old cupboard. 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit is the sweet spot. Do not put it in direct sunlight. Direct sun kills the fungus, making the extraction useless. Check your progress daily. The mold growth will be slow at first. Expect to wait 2 to 3 weeks before you have a substantial colony. We need density. We need volume. The more mold you grow, the stronger your crude extraction will be. Look for that specific blue-green hue. It should look like the fuzzy side of a decaying blueberry. If you see black, discard it immediately. If you see pink or orange, discard it immediately. If it smells overwhelmingly rancid, beyond simple mold, it is contaminated. Throw it out and start over. Your life depends on recognizing the right shade of biological decay. Assuming you have a successful, vibrant blue-green colony after several weeks, it's time for the hard part. Extraction. We need to separate the life-saving molecule from the toxic fungal matrix. Penicillin G is water-soluble, but it is unstable, extremely unstable. It degrades fast when exposed to heat or changes in pH. First step, harvesting. Carefully scrape the mature mold colonies off the bread surface. Only the fungal mat itself. Minimize the amount of bread you take. The less organic matter you have, the cleaner the final product. Place the harvested mold into a second clean container. We need a solvent. Distilled water is ideal, but filtered rainwater or boiled, treated water is your reality. Add the water to the mold. You want a slurry consistency. Think thick soup, not paste. Now, the mixing. You must agitate this slurry intensely for several hours. This process draws the penicillin G molecule into the water. Stir it constantly. If you have a manual blender, use it. If you don't, you stir until your arm cramps, and then you stir more. After intense mixing, let the mixture settle for about an hour. This allows the heavy mold debris to fall to the bottom. We need to adjust the pH. This is the high IQ hack. Penicillin G is most stable in a slightly acidic environment, but unstable in a neutral environment. We need to acidify the solution slightly before the final filtration. Use household vinegar, white preferred, or if you have access to lemon juice or citric acid powder. Add tiny amounts of the acid to the water slurry. You are aiming for a pH just below 7. Without a pH strip, which you probably won't have, you rely on taste. It should be just barely tart. Too much acid degrades the penicillin. Too little acid leaves it unstable. Now, filtration. This must be meticulous. We need to remove all solid fungal matter. Use several layers of fine cloth, like clean cotton or linen. If you have coffee filters, use them. Gravity is your friend. Do not squeeze the mixture. Let the liquid slowly drip through the filter setup. This takes time. Hurry this process and you reintroduce contaminants. Repeat the filtration process. Run the resulting liquid through a second, fresh set of filters. You want a clear, yellowish, or slightly brownish liquid. This liquid is your crude penicillin G extract. Now, the dosage problem. We have absolutely no idea what concentration we have achieved. 0. This is not laboratory grade. It is biological desperation. Therefore, this treatment is for life-threatening, overwhelming infection only. Do not use this for a simple cold or a superficial cut. This is the last resort against septic shock. Application method matters immensely. Internal ingestion of a mold slurry is toxic. Never drink the unprocessed mold. Your extract, the clear liquid, is different. For mild infections, apply the extract topically. Soak a piece of clean cloth in the liquid and apply it directly to the wound. Change the dressing several times a day. For severe systemic infections where you are facing fever, delirium, and spreading redness, you must ingest it. Start with small controlled doses. Begin with a spoonful every 4 hours. Monitor your reaction intensely. If you experience severe nausea, vomiting, or rapid swelling, stop immediately. It means you grew the wrong mold, or the contamination is too high. If you tolerate the dose, continue for at least 5 days. Watch the fever. Watch the redness receding from the wound. If the fever breaks and the swelling reduces, you have succeeded. Remember the half-life. This improvised penicillin degrades rapidly, even when acidified. It must be used immediately. Do not try to store large batches. Your survival depends on continuous, fresh production. Keep the mold colony growing. It is your new life insurance. Now, let's talk about the invisible killers you ignore while worrying about the infected. The #1 invisible killer in the collapse is wound care negligence. You have the antibiotics, crude as they are, but you still need prevention. Clean the damn wound every time. Boiled water and soap are mandatory. If you have iodine or peroxide, use them mercilessly. Flush the wound until you see clean tissue. Don't be squeamish. Pain is temporary. Amputation is forever. Also, tetanus is a silent menace the penicillin might not fully address. If you step on that rusty nail, you need deep, deep flushing. Tetanus thrives without oxygen. It is anaerobic. Expose the wound to air. Keep it open initially. Don't seal it up until you are certain the debris is gone. Another invisible killer, carbon monoxide. Survival requires heat. Survival requires cooking indoors when it's cold. Improper venting of stoves, generators, and fires will put you to sleep forever. It mimics fatigue. It mimics the flu, headache, dizziness, then unconsciousness. Open your vents. Ensure airflow. No amount of homemade penicillin can fight a CO overdose. It is an engineering problem, not a medical one. Solve the airflow, or you solve nothing. Finally, the psychological warfare of scavenge eating. You might find canned goods. You might find scavenged meat. Botulism is waiting for you. This is a neurotoxin that paralyzes. If the can is bloated, discard it. If the container hisses aggressively, discard it. If the scavenged meat smells wrong, cook it until it is bone dry. Boiling might kill the bacteria, but it doesn't always destroy the toxin. Be paranoid about your intake. Your survival plan must treat everything as toxic until proven otherwise. So, review the steps. Cultivate the mold in the dark. Identify the blue-green colony. Scrape it. Mix it with acidified water. Filter it meticulously. Dose it sparingly. That rusty nail tried to kill you. The rot tried to take your limbs, but you refused. You became the doctor. You became the chemist. You leveraged a simple fungus against biological catastrophe. It won't be easy. It won't taste good. But when the fever breaks and the sweat cools on your forehead, you will know the truth. You earned another day. Welcome to the new world. Survival demands extreme pragmatism. Now start scraping.